Yo, what's up, nerds? You weren't expecting fucking Moxfield today, were you? It's MTG, man, and today I'm gonna be talking about one of my favorite decks I've ever built. This is Perfection. So, this deck came about off of me being, I don't know what was happening to me. Honestly, it was very strange, but I built this deck like 2 weeks ago, and while I was putting together the deck list, I was literally fucking crying. Like, I was literally crying. I don't know why. I just love this deck. Something about the pure stupidity of this deck brings a tear to my eye. And I well and truly love it like a child. Um, I've started building this deck from just going to bulk boxes. Because that's what this deck is. This deck is bulk. So who's the commander? Well, this is Kalakscion, Hunger Tyrant. He just came out with Aether Drift. He's a 3 mana 7/2, which is bad. Let's be real, okay? It's not a bad rate. A 3 mana 7/2 is a good rate for a creature, but he has no abilities. Sure, that means no drawbacks, which is nice, but no abilities kind of hurts a commander. You're playing with a vanilla creature. Um, the nice thing about Kalakscion is 7 power is a lot. Okay? Commander damage is 21. So you hit your opponent 3 times and they're dead. And that's where this really not struggles, um, thrives, really. When I said opponent, I mean one. On the one-on-one, I don't think this deck is fair. Because I don't think anybody who says, okay, I built this deck for Commander, I'll play it one-on-one. Because, sometimes you show up to the LGS late and your normal play group is, like, already playing a 4-person pod. And, like, you're not going to butt in. And your other friend also got there late, so you just play some, like, one-on-one Commander to, like, kill time while you're waiting for the rest of the pod. This is what this is for, because this deck is brutal. But only in that scenario. In a 4-player pod, they'll probably kill you. So let's just get into the deck list that I've been hyping up so much. So the first category of cards I'm going to call I Always Come Back. Uh, Pretend I said that in, like, the fucking William Afton voice. Like, I always come back, or whatever. What this deck does is we have these instants and enchantments, so whenever Kalakscion dies, he'll either be returned to the battlefield or returned to our hand. So he can die over and over and over. Kalakscion is basically like Jason Voorhees, okay? You cannot keep him down. It's like watching Michael Myers be thrown out of the window in the first Halloween movie, and then they look down and he's not there anymore. That's what this deck is, because he just keeps coming back. We also have Unearth, which cycling it is nice, but being able to bring back Kalakscion for 1 mana is pretty strong. We also have Can't Touch This, which are 5 other spells that are going to give him indestructible. Again, cycling is nice, and Professor's Warning is also just like a pump spell. And that's the other nice thing about some of these. They'll either pump him or give him abilities on top of bringing him back to the battlefield or giving him indestructible. And the whole idea is your opponent just can't remove him permanently. That's what the deck does. It's unstoppable. Our land base is literally just 33 swamps, because I think that really keeping this deck bulk. Um, we have Diresight and Gruesome Realization, which is also kind of like a small board wipe if we need to draw. We have Hateful Eidolon, so whenever he dies, for each aura attached to Kalakscion, we get to draw a card. So we'll basically just keep getting to refill our hand. We have Infernal Scarring, so that when he dies, we get to draw a card. Plus, he'll have +2/+0. I keep saying he. Kalakscion's probably an it, but I don't really care. He's my dude. Knight's Whisper is a 2 mana draw 2, so it's just solid. Packed Weapon is a powerful equipment, I would say, quote unquote. As long as it's attached to a creature, you don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. And then whenever a equipped creature attacks, you draw a card, reveal it. The creature gets +X/+X, and you lose X life, where X is that card's mana value. This will kind of let you draw with Kalakscion every turn, because you just want to attack every turn. Read the Bones is also draw. Scourge Mark draws when it enters and gives him +1/+0. Sign in Blood is a draw 2. And then Sugar Rush will give him +3/+0 until end of turn and lets you draw a card. While +3/+0 until end of turn isn't like anything great, I kind of like being able to just pump him up for 1 turn, especially because this can help you finish off a player with commander damage. Because let's just say you swung once, right? And he was equipped with, I'm not gonna say, with Infernal Scarring. So he was a 9-2 when he first attacked, so he dealt 9 commander damage. And then when you swing again, you can hit him with Sugar Rush, so he'll be a 12-2. And then once he gets in for damage again, that'll be 21 to finish off the game. So you can kind of finagle the numbers with Sugar Rush to help finish off opponents early. Mana Please. So these are our mana rocks / we just want to have mana at all times, even if it means like sacrificing things. So we have like Basal Thrull and Blood Vassal so that we can sacrifice them for 2 black mana to either get back Kalakscion, or if the opponent thinks we don't have any mana up to protect Kalakscion, they'll use removal and we say, nope, sacrifice Blood Vessel, play Demonic Gifts or whatever. We have Arcane Signet, Blood Pet, because again, it's sacrificable, Charcoal Diamond, Dark Ritual, Mind Stone, Soul Ring, Treasure Dredger. So you pay 1, tap it, and pay 1 life to create a treasure token. The thing about Kalakscion is a lot of times you're just holding up mana because you want to make sure you can protect him. So you have like 2 swamps open. Well, if you're about to go back to your turn and you have 2 swamps open, you might as well create a treasure so that you're 1 mana ahead. Treasure Dredger just kind of lets you fuck with the numbers a little bit. And it kind of puts in more work than you would expect. It's also just a 2-2, which is nice as a blocker. And Overeager Apprentice, you can discard and sacrifice to add 3 black. So it can kind of just help you get Kalakscion, like, protected, kind of. I don't know. It's not as good as Blood Vassal or Basal Thrull, but it's still pretty powerful. We have Crystal Chimes as recycling, so any of the auras that get destroyed, we can just bring back. Removal-wise, we're playing Astarion's Thirst because it'll help bump up Kalakscion. Bone Shards because it's cheap, easy removal. Cast Down. Deadly Tempest. We only really have 1 creature that we care about. And when it dies, it's probably coming back anyway, so Deadly Tempest really doesn't matter to us, but it will really hurt your opponents. Doomblade, Feed the Swarm, Fell, Infernal Grasp, Power Word Kill, Reckless Spite, and then the next category is like Voltron-y stuff, because the deck is part Voltron. One of my friends during pre-release was like, wow, this Kalakscion guy seems like really strong. He's a fucking demon. And that just stuck with me. So we have Demonic Embrace, Eternal Thirst, so that he'll just get bigger as things die. Fireshrieker to give him double strike. Glamdring to give him first strike, and he'll get +1/+0 for each instant and sorcery in our graveyard. And then whenever it deals damage to a player, you can cast an instant or sorcery from your graveyard with mana value less than or equal to the damage dealt without paying its mana value. You're going to deal a shit ton of damage. Basically, any instant or sorcery in your graveyard is up for free. Hand of Vecna, that can kind of keep a large hand because it wants to have that protection in its hand. It's not like you're just playing a spell every turn. A lot of time you're holding up mana for protection. So Hand of Vecna will let you benefit from that. We also have Inner Demon. Again, like I said, somebody just said he's a demon, so I wanted to make him a demon. Which also kind of acts as a bad board wipe, too. Lash Writhe is going to get him really big because all we're playing is swamps. Midnight Covenant can let you just throw mana into him to help him finish off opponents. Sinister Strength gives him +3/+1. And then Rune Enchanter's Pike will make him bigger for the number of instants and sorceries in our graveyard. While instants and sorceries seem like a weird theme here, if you notice we have 10 instants and sorceries in removal. We have, let's see, Dark Ritual, so 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. We have 32 instants and sorceries, so he can actually get really big, especially because we're going to be consistently playing them. Win con-wise, we have Phyresis to give him Infect, because that's like the easiest way to win. What's easier than hitting for 21 damage? Hitting for 10. This guy can hit for 10 in one hit. And then we have Rogue's Passage to make him unblockable, because that's the kind of thing that you want to do if you have a big guy like this. Unblockability is like super important. So to play test this, this one does not let you choose your opening hand, which is lame. Not like you choose, but I mean, yeah. Okay. So we play Swamp for turn, and then we go to next turn. We play a Swamp, We will tap both. We will run out a treasure dredger. We will go to turn 3. We will play a swamp for turn, and then there is a debate to be made here. Sometimes I don't like playing Kalakscion until I know I have enough mana to hold up protection as well, but we don't really have protection in our hand. So I think what we would do is... where the fuck? Where's Kalakscion? Where's... show other zones. There we go. So we're going to run out Kalakscion. The cool thing here is if they do end up removing him, we have Unearth in our hand, so we can just bring him back next turn for 1 mana. So I'm going to say they probably will not remove him. We go to next turn. I think what we do here is we play Pact Weapon. Okay, and then we have to discard a card to it. So I think we may discard probably Inner Strength. Or Sinister Strength, sorry. So we discard Sinister Strength to equip Pact Weapon to Kalakscion. So now we don't die from having 0 life. And we can move to combat and swing Kalakscion for 7. Reveal the top card of our library. It goes into our hand. He doesn't gain anything, but deals 7 damage, which is still pretty solid. Go to next turn. We can Bone Shards if we need to remove anything. I think it's nice having Blood Pet up. We move to combat. We swing with Kalakscion for 7. Reveal the top card. So he's going to get +2/+2. We're going to lose 2 life, but he's swinging in for 9 now. We also have mana up if we need to protect him, or we can Bone Shards if there's anything he would be clashing into. We go to our next turn. We have protection up. Basically, the whole idea is if your opponent tries to remove Kalakscion, if they block him, their creature's going to die by blocking him. If they use a removal spell on him, which, let's be real, removing a vanilla creature with your removal spell, kind of lame, okay? It's just never going to be the optimal choice because you're going to be able to bring him back anyway. The idea is you just have this unkillable creature. It's going to be out at all times, and your opponents can't attack you because, let's be real, how the fuck is their attacker going to get in against your 7/2? Because you can just choose not to attack with Kalakscion. And then, yeah, you just kind of, like, we have 4 different ways to either protect him or get him back. We have removal, and every time we have open mana at the end of a turn cycle, we're creating more treasures with Treasure Dredger to just kind of keep up the momentum. And then every time we attack with Kalakscion, we're drawing another card off of Pact Weapon, so we can kind of keep our hand full, keep our protection full, and then theoretically just keep bumping him up until he wins the game. This may not look like anything crazy, but I really enjoy this deck. I think it's simple, I think it's funny, but I also think it's, like, really brutal. Your opponents are going to have to gang up on you if this is if you're playing a full pod, if you are playing a full pod of 4 players, you may become the arch enemy, just because all this deck does is swing, remove other people's creatures, and draw cards. I don't think opponents really want to deal with that, and I think the fact that you so consistently have a big creature is going to make your opponents end up ganging up on you. That could just be me, but that's how the tables I've played out have kind of seen cards like this. That being said, this has been MTG Man. This deck is not perfect. I'll be honest with you. I think I could build better. Let's just be real. I could do better. But I love this deck. This deck's like a son to me. And that being said, this has been MTG Man. I will see you on the next one, dog. Peace.